Yeah, looks like we are live. Let's see.
Can I just check my mic if it's working? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can hear both.
Thank you. Can I just check my mic if it's working? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. We have 24 participants currently watching the stream right now. Hello, dear participants, and welcome to the light orientation session that we have planned for faculty members, institute heads, and vice chancellors of universities. We will be starting the session at 3, and we will be joined by Dr. Mamta, advisor of AICTE, and we'll also be joined by Dr. Leena Chandranwadia, who's the NEP 2019 drafting committee member, and she's also part of the Learn research team. We're seeing faculty members and institute heads joining the session right now. Welcome, everyone. Good afternoon, Professor Vikram Singh. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Dr. Sanjay Kumar. Okay. Yeah, I believe we can start the session now. We have 42 faculty members and respective light stakeholders joining the session now. Yes. I would like to request Mr. Sanjay to give a brief introduction on Dr. Mamta, who will be giving the welcome address for this session today. Over to you, Sanjay.
Thank you, Nagarajan. Warm good afternoon to all of you. My name is Sanjay Vijay Kumar, and I'm the Prime Minister's Champion of Change for Education. And I lead the AICTE LITE program along with Dr. Mamta Rani Agarwal, who's the advisor at the AICTE Training and Learning Academy in New Delhi. We've been working with Dr. Mamta on the LITE program for more than a year now. And the work originally started in 2020 when Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe was the chairman of AICTE. AICTE, along with Ministry of Education, started a new program called the National Education Alliance for Technology, the NEET initiative, where educational tools and curriculums, which were proven to improve the quality of teaching learning for classroom learners, were selected by AICTE. It was a two-step process, and we were selected as part of that process. And over the COVID period of time, from 2020 to 2022, we worked with AICTE to build and launch the national model curriculum in web development and subsequently in electric vehicles. So these model curriculums are designed. And then we trained a group of faculty, which were very select faculty. 12 institutions were taken as part of the pilot run across 6 states and 5 universities. And learnings from this model was taken to scale to now 1 lakh faculty and 2.4 crore students in the country as part of the National Education Policy's vision to transform the classrooms from teaching center to learning center. So in this journey, AICTE had the specific focus on training faculty through the AICTE Training and Learning Academy, AICTE Academy, and Dr. Mamta Rani Agarwal, who will join us shortly, is part of the, or is leading the initiative. Dr. Mamta has been part of the academic system for quite a long time. She's been part of the UGC, and she's also been part of the All India Universities Association, AIU, and she leads all the FDP programs. The key difference between the regular FDPs and the LITE FDPs is that LITE FDPs are continuous in nature, so faculty would get support. And I welcome Dr. Mamta Rani Agarwal to this. Mamta madam, we were just, I was giving the participants a quick background of how I met you in Delhi and, how you wanted to lead the faculty training initiative through the AICTE Academy, and how you helped get the curriculums vetted as national model curriculums through the Undergraduate Board of Studies of AICTE, and how we've launched the first batch of training. And I was telling the participants about your background in UGC as well as the associations or universities. So without much further introduction, I want to welcome all the participants who are attending this LITE orientation session, and to give you further motivation and further inspiration, because nobody has built the learner-centered classrooms in our country. So it is a new journey for regulators, it is a new journey for faculty, it is a new journey for everybody involved, and all stakeholders have to work together to bring this vision to life. And to inspire you further, I welcome Dr. Mamta to give a welcome address to the audience. Mamta madam, you're on mute.
Can you hear me?
Yes, some bit of increase in sound would be better.
Okay, am I clear now?
Yes, much better. You can start.
Good afternoon, everyone. Very, very distinguished academician, Dr. Leena Chandran Wadia, NEP 2019 Drafting Committee member, Shri Sanjay Vijay Kumar, CEO, Pupil First, eminent friends from academia, and dear faculty members. It is indeed a privilege for me to address this august gathering in all of you, and something which is very, very close to my heart, that faculty development program. And in today's context, Pupil First LITE orientation session on faculty development program. I very strongly believe that we should continuously be investing in ourselves to make us relevant in the changing scenario, which is happening very, very rapidly. And just 15 minutes back, I was talking to Sanjay ji, and he said, I really need to motivate you. Well, all of you are my gurus. And today, 12th of January 23, it is a National Youth Day. And let all come together to shape, or let me say that, help shaping the future of our future generations. So I want to tell you that, why do you need to continuously go through these FDPs? Why is it imperative to go through these FDPs? Let's try to understand, or let's try to look at the background or the scenario what we are in today. In all my interactions with educators around the world, I don't think there is any country where there is so much of excitement around the field of education as it is in India. Because the way NEP, National Education Policy, has laid the framework, a path for us and is trying to change the entire academic ecosystem. Another thing is we are in a very watershed moment in the life as human beings. We have emerged out of pandemic, COVID is behind us, or maybe we are still keep on hearing that, the new strain has come in, but it has disrupted the whole world. It has disrupted all the industries, the way they have been functioning, and as much it has disrupted the space of education. All of you, each one of us have experienced. There are few very overarching realities, trends that we as academicians, as educators need to be extremely aware of. One thing, and even that research is also showing us or indicating that the 10 jobs of 2030, or say 5 to 10 new jobs of 2030, we don't know them yet. And 2030 is not really very far off. It's just maybe 7.5 years from now. I remember lecturing, speaking on different forums in 2010. And then I used to talk about 2020. And 2020 is already bygone. So the future that we anticipated, the future that we were talking about in 2010 is now. It has accelerated what we anticipated to be in 2020. So what is that? Of course, we all know that change is the only permanent or change is the only constant. But now is the time that we need to change with a much more accelerated pace of change. So we need to change with a much faster pace. Another reality is that by the end of this year, 150 million new jobs requiring new skills will get created, and approximately 75 million existing jobs will get displaced. So this is the skill set. This is the kind of skills, new knowledge domains, new skill sets we as faculty members need. We need so that we can disseminate this knowledge to our students. Another scenario, a recent McKinsey report said that 85% of the managers they interviewed said that they only want to hire for the skill sets and not for the roles. They just want to hire people, more of freelancers, more of temporary people, rather than giving a permanent job set to a particular employee. So the way industry is recruiting is changing, the way teaching learning process from absolute brick and mortar model to it has moved to online model, and now again it has moved to a hybrid model. So technology is changing. Teaching learning process is changing. There is no longer men or machine. It is men and machine, and how beautifully the two can work in tandem with each other, and how beautifully the two can integrate to provide better results. Another reality is, which again the research is indicating, and I'm sure all of you are aware of, that our lifespan is going to be, our life expectancy is going to be 90 to 100 years. And all of our students would have a career spanning over 60 years and more than 6 to 7 different career paths. So what I teach my student today does not suffice him for his entire life. So rather than teaching him, what I teach him today, I need to teach him how to learn. I need to teach him how to keep on learning, having that learning agility, that adaptability, and that resilience which COVID has taught us. So with these background, if this being the backdrop where industry is hiring differently, where teaching is happening differently, and again, because of this online mode of teaching, there is a death of distance. So a good professor sitting in Stanford, sitting in NLU, sitting in any part of the world, maybe Yale or Oxford or Cambridge, can teach 10,000 of students. So how each one of you as a faculty member want to gain that respect, want to be relevant, want to command that job, want to earn that job, it is only your skill set. And how do you get that skill set? You get that skill set by being what I call two things. One is being a student teacher. And when I say a student teacher, when you want to gain the attention, when you want to command the attention of the students who are a Google generation, who don't need you, everything is available from open resources. So you need to learn, if not on daily basis, at least on weekly basis. And I think this is today what you are, this is the time when you are investing in your learning. And another thing is you require present future skills. So what do you mean by present future skills? So by present future skills is keep on sharpening your saw, keep on investing in yourself, be an edge in everything, believe in yourself, invest in yourself, from attitudinally, from skill set wise, from knowledge wise, and connect with your students. I think I have a time constraint. So just by, three broader buckets, I'll try to keep it. Three things which you need to teach to your students, other than agility, other than resilience, other than learnability, to tell them that, they need to have multi-stakeholder sensitivity. We are a flat world. What I do today, it doesn't only impact me, it impacts everyone around me. It impacts my climate, it impacts sustainability. So we need to have that multi-stakeholder sensitivity. We need to have multi-generational adaptability. And our universities are the perfect example. Our oldest professor can be 65, 70, and a student is 17 to 18 years old. So we have 5 generations to connect, to relate to. So we need to have that adaptability and definitely multicultural relatability. People coming not only from different parts of India, but from different parts of the world will be there for you. I'm very, very happy, as informed to me by Sanjay ji, that 106 universities across 27 states and more than 400 plus higher education institutions have applied for LITE FDPs. More than 900 faculty members are taking training. 102 higher education institutions have already been signed in. We at AICTE ATL, we are very proud partners with Pupil First, and our endeavor is that we all come together and really prepare motivated, energized, competent, and capable faculty members, as National Education Policy says, that delivers student-centric education. But you can only do that if you invest in yourself and keep on learning, and let's celebrate inclusivity, let's commemorate excellence, and let's come together to make a better world. Thank you so very much. All the very best to all my faculty members, my dear faculty members. Thank you, Pupil First, for giving me this privilege. Thank you.
Thank you, Mamta Madam. Would you be able to stay with us for the event, or do you have follow-up meetings scheduled today?
I have a follow-up meeting, so I'll try as long as I can.
Okay. Cool. So thank you for your inspiring message. So we will, move on to the next session. What we're trying to do is we're trying to enable faculty to visualize NEP 2020 classrooms. The NEP 2019 draft and NEP 2020 draft, the policy itself, both are heavy in text. NEP 2019 is a 485-page document, and NEP 2020 is a 65-page document. But it doesn't let somebody visualize what the new classroom will look like. So in this presentation, in the next 5 to 10 minutes, we're trying to show faculty how that classroom looks like. Is my screen visible? Am I good?
Yeah.
Okay, everything will change screens. Okay. So we have to let our imagination come here, right? We have to imagine the future. The future is unmanifested. It is not yet created. The future that NEP 2020 promises for India, to create that future and build a nation for the 21st century is our job, right? And some people have shown us the way. Way back in 1980s, Narayana Murthy had a vision to build a technology company in 1980s. Right? And imagine if he had not thought of technology at the center of this institution called Infosys. Imagine where the nation would be if people like Dr. Kasturi Rangan had not visualized, the future 10 years out there, in the early 80s, early 90s, to power up India into the space program. Right? Where would I have been? Right? In 1986, and this is a copy of the 1986 policy document. It's available on the ministry's website. Right? In 1986, the tech of the era was, TV and VCR and radio. Internet was still 5 years away. So 2020 says that, we couldn't anticipate the birth of internet. And thus our teaching learning process was built with textbooks and, like Mantha Madam said, the brick and mortar model. Right? But hidden inside NEP 2020, hidden inside the 2019 draft is actually the blueprint to build the future of our nation in the 21st century. And for specific classroom purposes, we've identified 6 characteristics of this vision. So it's pretty much like a vision. So it's very hard to visualize it. It's there, and you have to see it from multiple angles to get an understanding. Right? So one is faculty-student ratio. In the teaching-centered model, one teacher can lecture to 60 students. But when it becomes learning-centered, how can a faculty give attention to all students for personalized learning? It is very difficult for one faculty to cover all 60 students and answer all the doubts, which brings in teaching assistants, which reduce the ratio for 1:20. The curriculums were mostly theoretically based, and it used to be revised once in 4 years or 2 years. And now these curriculums have changed to competency-based curriculums with revisions every 6 months. It is dynamically connected with the industry. Faculty training in the LITE program is going to be continuous. It will not be a 5-day program. It will be continuous and in-situ training as you run the course for the next couple of years. Everybody learns at different pace, but in the lecture model, the fast learner and the slow learner cannot be even identified. Right? In the digital classroom model, it is self-paced learning with the ability to ask any doubt. And I'll show you in the next slides how this is done. The assessments have to be completely overhauled in NEP, where the previous model of 2 assignments and 1 final exam is changing to 10 continuous assessments and detailed personalized feedback at key junctures. And the faculty's connection to industry and research were limited in the old model. But in the new model, you will have live access to people like Dr. Leena, who's been part of the NEP 2019 drafting committee itself, along with industry experts who've been authoring the course curriculum. So now if you start looking at visualizations of these classrooms, right, the front end is pretty much easy to visualize. You have computers and internet and, software-based tools for teaching and learning. But most important is the backend to be visualized. LITE provides you with a completely new digital backend. So one good way to imagine this is like a stage. We've all seen stages in our auditoriums. There is a front stage and there is a backstage. And there's a backstage is where the lights and the sounds and the directors and all of that are there. And in the front stage, there are the key players who are actually making all the actions. So to support the student and the teacher, we have a completely full digital backend that is prepared under LITE, which has teaching assistants, industry experts who act as course authors, and academic researchers who will help you with research insight and data-based guidance. The curriculum is prepared by industry professionals, and these curriculums have now been approved by AICTE as model curriculums. They're continuously updated every 6 months, and the industry experts, in UGC's terms, it is now called Professor of Practice. They create these curriculums into lesson plan, quizzes, and assignments so that the workload on faculty is reduced. Faculty drives the student admission. Faculty who have received training through this program can admit students into taking this curriculum, who can then start learning at their own pace. Now, this is a critical step when students start learning at their own pace. They will have a lot of doubts. And in NEP 2020 model, you can let your students ask any doubt because you will be assisted with teaching assistants. So if you've seen the other side of the classroom, there are students like Arvind or Tanya or Naman who are students from Shivnadar or IIT Roorkee or Delhi Technological University, which AICTE has trained previously in this full model curriculum. So AICTE has trained upfront before the LITE program, a lot of students from a national program who can support you in asking doubts. Students can ask their doubts in the Discord learning community, and the teaching assistants will be there to answer the doubts. In case there is a doubt that neither the faculty nor the teaching assistant can answer, the industry expert who wrote the course curriculum is available to provide the answer. So no question will go unanswered. Now, in terms of 2 assignments and 1 final submission transforming to 10 continuous assessments, there's a lot of increased workload on faculty if you have to do continuous assessments, and regular feedback has to be given on the learning. To enable this, LITE provides you with a virtual teaching assistant infrastructure. So every time students do a submission, it is immediately taken to the virtual teaching assistant where automated tests are run and immediate results are provided to students. So student learning is enjoyable because the moment you submit, very quickly you get a feedback. Detailed feedback are provided 3 times during the course at milestone levels. And to do this detailed feedback, just like university answer keys are provided, the industry course authors have created detailed answer keys on the curriculum, which faculty can use and provide personalized feedback to students. And finally, the academic research integration with the LITE backend. While multiple classrooms are running, it was physically very hard to collect data of what is the learning progress of students in each classroom. Is there a difference in classrooms in North and South or Northeast, students who came from English language schools or, local government medium schools? All of this data is now available for learning researchers to create analytics, which can be further used to drive policy implementation, change regulations, and provide faculty members with ideas and insights on how to improve the learning outcomes. So just to visualize the whole thing in one slide, right? The physical front-end classroom, which is there and the backbone of the whole education system of our country, is enabled with a LITE digital backend, where through AICTE Academy, faculty will get a steady, continuous training to bring an NEP 2020 learner-centered model classroom to life. We will provide you these images and animations so that you can refer them and visualize how these classrooms work. The right side box is a digital classroom. It is spread all over the cloud. We've put it in one box so that it is easy to visualize, but these people would be spread across the country. The researchers, Lina is based in Bangalore, there are other people based all over the country. So just to sum up my part and hand it over back to Nagarajan, right? I personally want to congratulate all of you. There has to be pioneers. Narayana Murthy was an amazing pioneer who showed that young engineers can really take India to the global stage. Right? And ISRO Dr. Kasturirangan created that vision and plan 10 years ahead, where we finally see the satellite go up in a rocket. But the engineers and scientists have been planning for it many years ahead of time. In the same manner, we at People First believe Vidyadanam Sarvadanat Pradhanam. Of all the knowledge out there, of all the wealth out there, the wealth of knowledge is the most important. And by empowering faculty, academic institutions, and vice chancellors, we want to play our part in bringing NEP 2020 from the realm of policy to reality. That's it. That's it from my side. I'll be happy to take questions later on, and I'll now hand it over back to Nagarajan.
Thank you, Sanjay. Yeah, so as part of the agenda, we'll be taking you through the overall FTP and approval stats as part of LITE as of now. So as of now, faculty members from over 413 institutions from 27 states have shown tremendous interest in taking part of the FTP and also taking up the NEP 2020 implementation steps. Towards the same, we have seen 103 institutions sign the MOU, sign the LITE MOU with us in order to implement our courses as part as part of minor degree or open electives across the institutions, out of which 25 institutions have signed the MOU from the recent batch of FDP that we have conducted in December 2022. As next implementation step, as an advanced step, 17 institutions have completed the approvals at both institute and university level. And we'd like to advise all other institutions who are currently in the implementation steps, either may be signing the MOU or getting the approvals done within the university or institute level. We would like to say that it's a very important juncture for all your institutions to be proactive towards completing the implementation steps and also reach the end goal of upskilling students using a learner-centered pedagogy. And like I mentioned before, there are 17 institutions who are ready for batch 1 year 23 of integration, which will be tentatively launched in February 2023. So there are some key points that we'll have to cover as part of this slide. Out of the 17 institutions, 12 institutions have already integrated our courses as part of batch 2 this year in 2022, and the batch had started back in August 2022. So currently students are learning the second course, which is Web Development 201. These institutions have integrated the courses as part of minor degree. And from the current batch, what we are planning to do is we have planned to offer the courses. And that's not just as minor degree, but also open electives for students to opt, as it provides more flexibility for students, based on which Hindustan College of Engineering and Technology, Coimbatore, has come as an autonomous institution to integrate our courses as open electives for their students. And we will be integrating those students starting from February 2023. We also have 75 institutions with ongoing approval process, out of which most of them are affiliated institutions. And these affiliated in considering these affiliated institutions, around 90% of these affiliated institutions are still in their, in the phase of getting the university approval. And some institutions have reported that it takes more than a year for them to complete the particular step. Towards that, we also have seen universities proactively issue the approvals to all institutions that are affiliated to their university and are also interested in taking part in the LITE initiative. And one such university is JNTU Hyderabad. Towards that, they have issued the approvals for over 7 institutions, and they have now become a LITE national showcase university for all universities to follow. And this is the NEP 2020 implementation flowchart. This better describes on how the implementation is done on a phase basis. So the initial phase is LITE onboarding, wherein institutions and faculty members apply to be part of LITE. And we have over 75% of total institutions who are currently in LITE at this phase. Then comes phase 2, wherein institutions are asked to sign the LITE MOU as the next implementation step, thereby completing which they will be taking up the approval process. Within this approval process, we have categorized institutions based on institute type, considering the reason that they will have to take the designated regulatory approvals in order to integrate the courses as minor degree or open electives. So within these 3 buckets, we have public universities, private universities, deemed and institute of eminences. So these institutions are only required to get the approval at the academic council level within their institute, and that should be more than sufficient for them to integrate the courses as minor degree or open electives. Whereas we have autonomous and standalone institutions for which the process of getting the regulatory approvals slightly varies. So for example, if an autonomous institution wants to integrate the courses as open electives, they will only have to, they are only required to take the approval within the institute level, wherein if they want to integrate the courses as minor degree, they will have to get the approval at both institute and university level. And then we have affiliated institutions and polytechnics for whom it's mandatory for them to get the approvals at both university and institute level in order to integrate the courses either as minor degree or open electives. So out of the total of 413 institutions, we have 21% of institutions still in this space. And out of this, like I mentioned in the previous instance, wherein we have seen affiliated institutions still waiting to get the approval from the university in order to proceed further. And phase 3 is the pre-student admissions and the student admissions phase, wherein we have only 4% of institutions currently in this space, and 17 out of these 17 institutions who have completed the the approvals and are working towards allocating the class hours for students to take the courses as open electives or minor degree, since the light advanced web development curriculum is part of academic work. We have 11 autonomous institutions, 3 affiliated institutions, 2 private universities, and 1 deemed university successfully completing the approval steps. And we've been talking about data for some time, and we'll have to present some key takeaways and actionables for faculty members, institute heads, and vice chancellors to consider. We expect more institutions to proactively complete the light MOU signing process, as we see more than 75% of institutions that expressed interest in light or still have not signed the MOU yet. So that is an initial step that you should really consider towards completing. And we also put forth a request for all universities to kindly expedite the approval process for institutions. One such step that you can take in order to mitigate this delay is to issue a blanket approval for all light institutions that are under your university. So every institution can move forward with their institute approval process and do the integration in one go. And we also would like to request all autonomous institutions, faculty members and institute heads from autonomous institutions to really explore the possibility of integrating the courses as open electives, since it will largely reduce the time that you will be consuming towards getting the approval, and you can integrate the courses as open electives for your students. At the end of this implementation, we have the student admission step, wherein we have 8,527 course-specific scholarships that are up for grabs for students who will be admitted to the course as part of B01Y23 in February 2023. So towards that, we request all institutions to complete all the implementation steps, including approvals, by 16th of February 2023 in order to get included in the upcoming batch. So what happens after the deadline that I have mentioned, which is 16th of February? Will the process be entirely shut down and then restart at some other instance? No, it's not going to happen. The NEP in 2020 implementation process is a continuous process wherein we expect institutions to always work towards completing the implementation step at one instance. So even if you couldn't manage to complete the implementation steps by February 16th, you will still, we request you to still continue the implementation, to work towards completing the steps so that we can include your institution in the upcoming batch. Also, one other thing that we wanted to reiterate is that we have seen institutions come in with queries stating that due to their affiliation status, they believe that they won't be able to complete the implementation step within the designated timeline. To those institutions, we would like to clarify that irrespective of your institute type, may your institution be affiliated or may your institution be autonomous or a deemed university, it takes effective coordination for you to complete the implementation step, and it doesn't, irrespective of what institute type that you actually come under. And we've been, since starting the batch 2 of FDP back in December 2022, we've been getting a considerable number of queries from faculty members and institute heads regarding implementation, to which we have been addressing on a regular basis. Should you have any other queries regarding integration or implementation, please feel free to reach out to us at the live WhatsApp helpline number. And also, if you couldn't manage to do it, you can still send us an email at wd@pupilfirst.org, and we'll be more than happy to address it in a timely manner. And that should be it. I request Dr. Leena to share a few words on the
Nagarajan, let's have okay, let's go with the flow, and then we'll bring Dr. Shanti at the end.
Yes. So, I request Dr. Leena to share a few words on the FDP and implementation process and how she visualizes the importance for for institutions to carry out these steps. Over to you, Dr. Leena.
Thank you, Nagarajan. I'd like to thank the Pupil First team for giving me an opportunity to participate in this event. Having had the privilege of working with Dr. Kasuri Rangan and the NEP committee and being a member of the drafting committee of the 484-page draft NEP document that Sanjay was talking about, I am very thrilled to see a serious attempt, a very, very serious attempt led by AICTE and anchored by Pupil First to actually implement NEP 2020 in its true spirit, as learner-centric classroom and so on. So it's really wonderful to be here. I was supposed to come in. So I was requested by Pupil First to come in to do some research to see how well, learner-centric classrooms are being implemented. And one of the first things we did was we wrote about was the fact that AICTE has been extremely well thought out in designing the LITE program that is also attached to the ATL FDP program. It's very, very well thought out because it focuses on teachers. It's gives them credit for taking these courses. And as we all know, the biggest multiplier method is to train teachers, because a single teacher interacts with thousands of students during their career. And even if some teachers move away into industry, more teachers can be trained. And so, focusing on teachers and helping them bring the NEP 2020 into the classroom is a very, very exciting project. I haven't seen any other project which is at this advanced stage and at this well thought out stage of implementation. So I'm very excited to be part of the event today. So, like I was saying now, that it's very well thought out. So the model curriculum, having AICTE making the curriculum developed by industry into a model curriculum helps not only the institutions that are becoming part of LITE, which are trying to sign up and so on, but it helps every other engineering college in the country. Because designing good curriculum and keeping them updated is a very, very difficult task requiring considerable expertise, and not all institutions have it. So this is wonderful that AICTE actually put the curriculums out. Engineers are so versatile and so much of the backbone of economic success. Sanjay talked about the fact that Narayan Murthy started Infosys at a time when there were so many controls and computers had to be imported and so on. But the day Infosys listed on the NASDAQ, India had arrived on the international scene. So, of course, other companies were also working. TCS was, servicing many companies in many countries. But Infosys listing on the NASDAQ is a historical moment when the world sat up and took notice. So engineers can do many things. They really need to engineer, but they also can do many other things. For example, the NEP has recommended that engineers should qualify to be teachers in schools, because today in schools we want much more experiential learning, much more technology-based learning, much more learner-centric learning. So the space for engineers to contribute to society is becoming very large. And so I think from all these viewpoints, the strengthening of engineering education through LITE, and with the efforts of Pupil First and bringing academia industry together is very, very laudable. I mean, we've never had, it was always a dream to bring government, academia and industry together in some sustainable and scalable way. And I believe we have finally found the model. And so I wish you all a lot of success. I wish Pupil First a lot of success in what they are doing. I wish all the teachers who are part of AICTE LITE a lot of success in bringing NEP 2020 to the classroom, talking about it widely and exciting a lot of other teachers and other institutions. Nagarajan talked about some of the difficulties for institutions to sign up. I'm hoping that UGC will finally turn and AICTE will turn their attention into some of these things, the difficulties institutions have in signing up and simplify regulations a little bit. So let's hope that 2023 will be the year for that and that we can scale AICTE LITE along with Pupil First to much greater levels. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Dr. Leena. You always feel very charming and inspiring for all of us. To bring more, reality to the ground, I would want to showcase from Mallareddy College, Dr. Shanti, who's joined us. And Mallareddy College has been one of the most active institutions under Jawaharlal Nehru Technical University in Hyderabad. So before I go there, most of you must have seen there is a section under the FDP program, the selection results. There's a section for approval status where you can see where your institute currently stands in the approval process. But there is a clear showcase of how these institutions are transforming a vision of a learner-centered classroom into reality. And under many institutions that are showcased here, I want to bring Dr. Shanti up here. Who's the professor and head of Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Mallareddy College of Engineering. Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon, sir.
So, for the benefit of all the other faculty members, right, we want to just, hear your experience, right, because you were one of the pioneers who took the first step when the first call for LITE came out, and you worked with the institution, received support from the head of institution, and then you coordinated with the Jawaharlal Nehru Technical University as well. And then you were able to get the academic council approvals, subsequently launch admissions, and now your students are learning and progressing very well in the course. So can you reflect back? And this is the only question I have to ask you, right? It is not a, it is a very personal journey that you have undertaken, as part of being a role model teacher in implementing NEP 2020. So can you reflect back and share the journey of how did you first hear about LITE? What did you do? What did you understand? How did you get support from the management? And that whole journey that you've undertaken for the benefit of all the other institutions and faculty members. Can you share it with us?
Yes, sir, definitely so. Good evening, one and all. I'm Dr. Shanti from Mallareddy College of Engineering and Technology. And at this moment, I'm very happy to be part of this minor degree program, as well as I thank Pupil First for providing this opportunity to our students as well as to our faculty. So I would like to brief upon the questions which has been asked by Mr. Sanjay sir. First of all, we heard about this AICTE LITE program through our principal sir actually. So he was explaining us about the importance of the credits which is being given by the AICTE LITE program. And we have made an analysis on this AICTE LITE program, and we try to find out like already who has been part of this academic LITE program. So near the south side, we could able to find out that few of the colleges have already registered, and they are pioneer ahead of us. So that we could able to find out. And next thing is that we contacted to our head of the institution first. And immediately, sir gave the approval from our institute side. And next is that we have conducted an academic council meeting where our academic members have immediately agreed to this AICTE minor degree program. And one more advantage here is that the certificate is being approved by the parent university, that is our JNTU University. So we need to take the approval from JNTU Hyderabad also. So in this regard, we have communicated the same regarding the approval to our university. So this our university have asked us to submit our academic calendar. Ours is an autonomous institution actually. So our university has asked us to submit the academic letter, and then they have asked us to submit the copy of the timetable, and they have asked us like how we will be incorporating it into our regular activities. Actually, we are working 6 days per week. So we could able to implement this LITE program as part of our curriculum itself. That is like we are allocating 4 hours into our regular timetable. So everything like academic calendar, timetables, and then the detailed information about the meetings, everything has been submitted to JNTUH for approval. And immediately university has given us the approval for this AICTE LITE program. So this is regarding the approval status, and our management also, they have immediately approved. There is no going back from the thing actually for this AICTE approval. They have immediately responded, and they have immediately given permission to all the departments. It's not only for CSE or IT. They have suggested all the other department students to take part in this AICTE minor degree program. So because of that, there would be an opportunity for the other department students also to get into the industry side, as well as for the CSE and the IT students. This would provide much of industry knowledge, as well as they will be facing the real world, and they'll be facing like how to solve the projects and get into deep into it. So this is how we took the approval from the university as well as from our institution.
Thank you, madam. And now that your students are learning in the program and progressing through the course, how will
Yes.
you receive support from the industry to help the faculty in assessments and in continuous assessments and review and feedback for the students in clearing the doubts? Are you happy with the support that you receive?
Yes, sir. We are very much happy with the support which is being provided. The videos are, first of all, the videos which has been provided, those are very much self-sufficient for the students to carry out their task actually. And second thing is that the queries which has been posted by the students, it is being answered in a very faster manner so that the students' queries are being clarified. The queries are being clarified. It's not taking much time actually for the students to get the doubts to be clarified. So in this regard, we were very happy about the support which is provided by the Pupil First team.
Thank you. So I wish you all the best, and I wish all the students from your university also the very best, from your institution the very best. The LITE hiring network and their internship opportunities are waiting. So as soon as your students graduate the program, we would want to enable them have a seamless path to the industry. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
To hand over the session and conclude this short orientation talk by various members from the academia, by Dr. Leena and Dr. Mamta, I would invite Suma Sundararajan, who is the Chief Operating Officer at our company. Over to you, Suma.
Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you, Dr. Shanti. I mean, this goes on to show how much effort that you have taken upon yourself to represent your institute and your students, and setting an example, for other institutes who probably think this is a very tough process to follow and accomplish, right? And get the access to students for this opportunity in such a short duration. Right? I think the session had great participation from different institutes, and we had faculty members, we had institution heads, and some situations I've even seen deans from different departments, participating. That is such an honoring presence, showing that there is interest in doing this integration for your students in your respective institutes. I would like to, bring Nagarajan over, who's representing Pupil First. Nagarajan, can you turn on your video as well? Who's representing Pupil First in coordinating with all the institutes in the integration, processes, and being round the clock helpful to each and every one of you here. And I think he's beautifully summarized the different steps and processes involved in the integration processes across the different institute types, right? So we are well aware of what is going to be taken in order for you to accomplish those steps, and we are here to support you from end to end. And please feel free to get in touch over email that has already been provided to you in different communication channels. We will be happy to help you through this process, and we look forward to working with you shortly and sooner in this upcoming batch, if not the batch soon to come, probably around in August as well. So Nagarajan, over to you, and you can wrap the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sumit. We would like to have a couple of questions from institute heads and faculty members, if possible, for the session. And if we'll be happy to address those questions. And if not, we can wrap this session.
Sir, can you explain about the open elective, sir, which we were discussing?
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Shanti, for your question. Like I mentioned, currently the Light Advanced Web Development Model Curriculum is being offered as minor degree and open electives. As the courses are offered under these pathways, we advise institutions to follow the approval process designated to that particular pathway that they will be selecting. For minor degree, like I mentioned, for autonomous institutions and affiliated institutions, it's mandatory for them to get the approvals at both university and institute levels in order to integrate the courses as minor degree. Wherein for the open elective pathway, we would advise autonomous institutions to get the approvals only in the institute level. As for affiliated institutions and all other institute types, we would advise them to get the approvals at both institute and university level in order to integrate the courses. The credit structure and all the course prerequisites will be similar for both minor degree and open electives. And since both pathways will be part of academic work, the timetable integration step will also be mandatory for all institutions, irrespective of their types. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shanti. I believe we have received a question from Principal Sanjeevani regarding the financials that are involved. I'm not sure if to have much more clarity on this question. Would you like to clarify a bit more on this in the live chat, Principal Sanjeevani, and hopefully we can address that query during the session itself.
Nagarajan, I mean, I would assume this would be regarding the fees for the program. So maybe we can answer that, assuming it is regarding the fees. So the AICTE has fixed the curriculum fees of 10,000 rupees per course for the 3-course minor degree program. So overall course fee is 30,000 rupees for the minor degree program. However, there is 10,000 scholarships that the industry is offering. So currently, out of the 10,000 scholarships, I think close to around 1,300 scholarships have been taken by the first 12 institutions, and 8,300 and around 8,300 to 8,400 scholarships are available. These scholarships have a expiry date on December 2023. So all institutions who are joining in this batch and in the July or August admission batch, all their students will be receiving 100% scholarships from the industry side, and there will be no fees for these students. Once the students see successes from the course, so we've got early students getting placed in Google and Microsoft and other companies from another program that is run called the Global Developer Corps along with AICTE. So once the hiring network and other programs see results, if your students are interested in taking the course, they may pay the AICTE prescribed fees. But for the current one academic year, there is no fees, and there is industry scholarships, full industry scholarships available for your students. Thank you. Happy to answer any other question as well.
Thank you, Sanjay. We also have a question from faculty regarding the courses that are being offered under this curriculum. as part of the curriculum, we'll be offering 4 courses as part of advanced web development. It will be web development 101, 201, 301, and 401. As part of minor degree, students are required to complete all courses in order to get the minor degree awarded by their parent university. As for open electives, WD101, irrespective of the pathway, will be provided to students as an interest-based admissions test, which will not be charged. Like Sanjay had mentioned, for WD201 and 301 and the subsequent course, there will be fees that needs to be paid unless until the scholarship gets exhausted. And we also have one more question from a faculty member regarding the faculty that will be taking the faculty training program. So yeah, I think I get a question here. Just to reiterate, the model curriculum is purely interdisciplinary in nature. So students and faculty members, irrespective of their departments, would be able to take the courses. Also, although that is the case, we have seen more engineering allied branches opting for the courses at this moment. Currently, we are offering the LITE model curriculum in advanced web development as minor degree and open electives for students, and we are still in development with the course being offered as open elective, which is electric vehicles. We will keep all institutions and faculty members, institute heads, and universities posted on this.
There is a question on which faculty members can apply for the program. This is from Mr. Sundar Srinivasan. So the faculty from computer science or allied branches are the best to apply for the current web developer program. Once the electric vehicle program starts, it will be open for faculty from mechanical, electrical, industrial, computer science, and electronics. Since this is a web development based course, computer science, IT, and other circuit branches or allied branches are the best for faculty to apply from. There's a question from Mr. Avinash Desai, and it says, can you please briefly tell about the MOU signing process? So I think Nagarajan is best suited to answer the MOU signing process. He's handled more than 100 MOUs right now. So Nagarajan, can you take that question?
Sure, Sanjay. Yeah. So like I mentioned, institutions that express to be part of LITE will be brought in as part of onboarding process. So while we plan to onboard institutions, we'll be sending out email communications along with the MOU template that they will have to use in order to include all the institute related information, and then share it with us over email. So the MOU will have all policy related descriptions, and we'll also have the scholarship terms, clauses and scholarship terms included. We'll also be including the the fee structure, the NEET approved course fee structure in the schedule, which you can refer to, and the courses that are currently offered under the model curriculum. So all such details will be included in the MOU. Once you have expressed interest to be part of LITE, we will have shared an email communication with you. Should you not have received that communication, you can email us at wd@peoplefirst.org, and we'll be happy to share the LITE MOU template with your institution so that you can execute the same and share it with us.
There is a question from Miss Ria Bandyopadhyay. Sorry. Is there any placement offered directly to eligible students? Yes, so let me maybe share screen and share that. Under the LITE program, there is a hiring network that has been set up. And this hiring network has currently 69 companies which are there. I can just scroll back to this page. Where is that? Oh, here it is. So these are companies from industry. So this includes companies like Freshworks and other leading technology companies, which are willing to hire students first on an internship and then directly on their placements. The curriculum has been designed from the industry. So the skills that the students learn are exactly what the companies require. As time goes by, we expect more companies to join the hiring network. And the number of jobs, like Ms. Mamta was saying at the beginning of the program, is pretty large. There are more than 10 crore jobs in the web development industry available globally, but there are not enough skilled engineers to fill that pipeline. And this model curriculum from AICTE will enable your students to pick up those skills, and the hiring network will enable those students to get placed in the industry.
Thank you, Sanjay. I think we have also received a question on the certificates that will be issued. I would like to clarify this question for both faculty members and students. So for faculty members as part of FDP, when you complete a designated course, maybe WD101 or 201, you will be issued a course completion certificate by Pupil First. And once you have successfully implemented the course for students in your institution, you will be designated as a ambassador of change for NEP 2020, and you will be issued a certificate in coordination with AICTE. For students, for students who complete the courses as part of minor degree or open elective, in any number of course that they complete, they will be receiving a course completion certificate from Pupil First. If students have opted for minor degree, upon completion of all 4 courses within this curriculum, they will be offered a minor degree by the parent university. As for open electives, the course completion certificate will be the only aspect there. I believe we have also received one more question regarding the expenses relating to faculty training. Dear faculty members, we have clarified this over email communication to you as well. The faculty development program is totally free of cost. The objective for us to conduct the faculty development program is to give faculty members enough time to establish good understanding on what the curriculum actually offers, so that they can confidently coordinate the NEP 2020 implementation steps for their respective institutions. Towards that, we have, as of now, we have not been charging faculty members who get onboarded as part of FD.
There is a question from Dr. Rupa Chandrika on the grading system procedure that is available for the course. So I'll request Dr. Reena to please share the answer for this question. Dr. Reena?
Sure, Sanjay. So in all of our WD core web development courses, we follow continuous assessment. So in all the levels wherein we have assignments, students are given a problem statement they work on, they submit their work, which gets feedback, and feedback is either through a virtual teaching assistant, or it's a manual review at some important levels where a teaching assistant or the industry expert, who are the coaches, they look at the submissions and then give feedback for improvement. And once the student improves their work, they can resubmit and get better grades. And at the end of the course, we have a capstone project which encompasses everything that a student has learned through the course, and then build a project from scratch. So in a short answer is, in our course, we do a continuous assessment and give feedback for improvement at every juncture. Sanjay, that is what I would have to say about it.
Thank you, Dr. Reena. So Dr. Reena has been teaching for 6 years at Manipal University before she joined our team and is helping with the teaching learning operations. Suma has also been with IIT Madras for around 9 years before she joined the team and came to the industry side to help the academia bring a stronger connect between industry, academia, and government. There is a question from Ms. Shalu Mehta. Is there any limit on the student count for the course? So there is no limit on the student count. The institutions who come first and who complete the approval process first, if they have a lot of students who wish to take the scholarships, those students will get the scholarships. So the scholarships are available on a first come first serve basis. There is no limit on the number of scholarships every institute can avail. There is only a cap on the total number of scholarships, which is at 10,000. There's one question.
Okay, we have a question from Dr. Rajkumar Samantha. He had put forth a request saying that it would be helpful for the institutions to implement LITE if AICTE can take up the minor degree implementation with vice chancellors in order to expedite the approval.
Yes, this is a very important suggestion by Dr. Rajkumar Samantha. We will, take this up with AICTE and inform them of this request by multiple institutions that the affiliated institutes in particular are hamstrung because of the approval process delays from the universities. So we will take your request, Dr. Samantha. We are not we can only influence and pass on the information. The new chairman, as you know, Professor Sitaram has taken over. So we will bring this to, through Dr. Mamta, to Professor Sitaraman's notice. We'll also try to meet the UGC chairman, Professor Jagdish, and then see if UGC can also support us in this initiative by communicating to vice chancellors. But this is a known challenge. Many institutions have gone through this. But if you are persistent and you continuously request and send letters to the vice chancellors, we've seen that the request and is eventually upheld, and the academic councils meet, and the AICTE model curriculums are approved, and the orders are issued. We are happy to share with you orders from all the other universities which have issued them. It is there in the website, but we'll be, if you want specifically copy of the orders like JNTU or other universities like Osmania have issued, we'll be happy to share them with you. If that helps your case, take it up with the vice chancellor at your parent university. Is there any more questions, Suma?
I think most of the questions we have addressed, Sanjay. I think it would be a good juncture for us to wrap the session. Should faculty members have any more doubts regarding integration, we have previously shared a Q&A document that encompasses all such queries that we have received from faculty members and institutions beforehand. So we'd be more than happy to reshare that Q&A doc with you along with the course record, along with the recording of this orientation session, so that you can also view this session recording and then get some more clarity on what we have presented today. Thank you so much for all the panelists who have joined for the session today, and also faculty members, institute heads, and vice chancellors. I believe this session has been very helpful for you to attain more clarity on how the NEP 2020 implementation works. So towards that, we'd like to thank you all for joining, and we will keep you posted on any other developments that we have with regards to NEP 2020 implementation. Thank you so much.